So welcome to this workshop, and I'm glad to be here. So myself, Gathin Devrel at 0G, and today I'll be giving a short workshop at this beautiful venue in Buenos Aires on the topic of build an Onchain AI dapp with 0G's verifiable inferencing. So let's get started. So before I jump into explaining on what 0G is and what do we do, so the first thing that I would like to just give you a brief is like what the AI that we're using on a day-to-day basis, like ChatGPT, is currently our closed AI. So which is actually like a black box with agents, model, alignment, data, and compute completely being blacked out from the user's vicinity. Whereas when you use into decentralized AI, that's where you could make this complete process transparent, verifiable, and also bring in few mechanisms with which the users can make sure that the data was not tampered or it was not there is no censorship resistance that are being impulsed into the data markets. Moving on to, before I jump into our architecture, I'll just give you a quick brief on what 0G is. 0G is the first intelligent layer 1 for Onchain AI that provides complete infrastructure stack for building AI powered applications on chain. So with that, our complete stack, you could like developers can leverage. We have the 0G storage, and on top of which we have the 0G compute. So the chain lies like a foundation for this complete stack, on top of which we have the decentralized storage network, which is an AI optimized storage with ultra low cost and verifiable permanence for both structured and unstructured data. Other than that, we have our compute network. This is like a trustless AI inference and compute, which is secured by decentralized infrastructure and cryptographic verifiability. This acts like a foundation for you to bring complete AI models on chain. So moving on to just giving you a brief with the architecture, that is like a deep in hardware which lies as a base. On top of that, we have the infinitely scalable chain, and with the infinitely scalable chain and us being EVM compatible, so we have better like block time, which is less than 500 milliseconds, and we can achieve a throughput of 11K TPS, which is extremely high and which is capable of bringing the AI workloads. Moving on to the compute network, storage network, and data availability layer, these are other three pillars of our modular stack. So just to mention that we are a modular chain, so you could use individual components separately, or you could utilize the complete stack as well. So with the compute network, you could do training, RAG, and you could deploy agents. And we also have like verifiable inferencing. That is like, I'll just dive deep into it in the upcoming slides, but just to give you a brief that lies on the service marketplace is that we have models like Quen, we have GPT OSS, and we have Llama. So we have few other model providers. So you can get verifiable output, where the complete output of the model is processed in a trusted execution environment. Moving on to like the data availability, we have high performance and provenance supported data availability layer, and this acts and provides like an off-chain verifiable storage for all the data transactions that happens on the chain. As I mentioned, so we are able to bring the infinite scalability and also give better throughput as we have separated the execution layer and the consensus layer of the chain. And on the execution layer, we have the state, VM, and the smart contracts. On the consensus layer, we have the network agreement and finality. So you could scale individual components, and you could bring in much more throughput for the chain. And we have achieved with our recent mainnet launch of like less than 500 milliseconds of block time, and also a highest throughput of 11K TPS. On like moving on to the next component, we have the 0G storage. The traditional cloud storage is fast, but it is expensive, like Amazon AWS that you use on a day-to-day basis, and other decentralized options like RWave, Filecoin, and IPFS. They have like their different limitations, but with 0G, we are trying to achieve this complete solution with which you could like upload large scale AI models, and we have achieved like uploading 100 billion plus parameter model on chain by using our new framework, which was developed by our research team, which is called as Dialoco X, with which you can upload large scale models on 0G storage with just office network bandwidth, which is insanely fast for like a decentralized option. We are claiming that we are 95% much cheaper than other AWS solutions. You can get instant retrieval. We support both structured and unstructured data. So it is universally compatible. You could just think of it like a decentralized Google Drive, or you could just think of it like an S3 bucket. So you could upload structured and both unstructured data to it. On the technical side, how we are able to achieve this throughput is by having like two different lanes with which you will be able to upload files to the 0G network. So when you upload a file to the 0G network, there are two different paths that happen simultaneously. One is the data publishing lane, the other is the data storage lane. So in the data publishing lane, let's start with the data storage lane. When the file is uploaded to the 0G network, using a mechanism called as erasure coding, it is split into multiple chunks, and it is then distributed into the storage nodes on 0G chain. So when it is distributed to these nodes, what these nodes does is they verify the data and they provide a signature to the contract, and all this aggregated signature from multiple such nodes is cumulatively created into a Merkle tree, and the Merkle hash, root hash, is verified and like stored on the contract in 0G chain. So which is in turn verified by 0G's consensus. So 0G chain acts like a base for the uploading uploading data to the 0G storage. Just giving you a brief about 0G's data availability layer, and the main challenges that we solve compared to other data availability layers is that there is limited horizontal scalability, because there are a big requirement when data are sent simultaneously to the network nodes. This creates a bottleneck and limits the speed to the slowest node. And also we have an inbuilt storage network which improves the latency and throughput, with rather you relying on like a third-party storage. And we are relying on like Ethereum security, so we are pretty much stronger than the existing data availability layers, and we have better randomization compared to other existing DA layers as well. Here are a few use cases. You could find a few common ones that you could use other DA layers as well, like using it for off-chain storage for like L1s and L2s, having like decentralized shard sequences, bridges, roll-up as services, DeFi, on-chain gaming, and data markets. But one thing we specialize in and we are happy to enable is that it is like a great option for AI and machine learning. For example, when you're training a model which is used after like several months by users, and they want to verify on like what data it was trained on, how it was trained on, and they want to get access to the historical data, they will be able to do that with this off-chain place called as a data availability layer, which is affiliated to that chain. Moving on to the most important and like the core concept of like a brief 0G's compute network, or like the service market on top of which. So before we jump in, like the issues that I mentioned earlier, the others face like high cost, complex setups. They are locked into vendors. But with 0G compute, it acts like a decentralized marketplace where the GPU owners sell their computing power to developers in need. And it's like kind of like Uber for AI computing. The only issue is that you get vendor logged in, there are like rental providers, but we are like 90% cheaper than, and we are like pay-per-use pricing models that we have. So this is a brief architecture diagram that we have. So if you want, we have like a provider setup. So initially, you can act like a provider by uploading your own model and like connecting it to the TE that we have. The requirement that we have is that you need to have H100 or H200 GPUs. And for the settlement, it makes like a ZK proof and it settles back on the contract on 0G chain. From the user side, how they interact is that there are different inference providers. Users can select one of this. Users don't need to pay for each transactions or sign them. Instead, they could make a deposit to a smart contract, which is called as like a ledger on 0G's service marketplace, and that will auto debit based on like the user's request for like multiple models. This is the same brief that I mentioned earlier. So users deposits funds, they request services, and which can be like send your AI task, they get the results, which they get like output from the best available compute, GPUs, and automatic payment takes place. For GPU owners, they can register their hardware, they can list their GPU specifications, set their prices, process requests, and get instant earnings. That's with like the complete architecture, and for this hackathon we have this special bounty that it's like an open track, and we have like a total bounty pool of $10,000, and our topic is to build Onchain AI dapps with 0G's intelligent layer 1. So we are looking for projects that can build projects that can be only possible to build using 0G by utilizing this complete stack for on-chain AI. So it can be AI agents with verifiable computation and permanent memory. It can be decentralized ML training platform with proof of contributions, high performance storage solutions, which has like an AI analytics part embedded into it, and also like having like off-chain storage, like a DA layer connected to that as well. So we have a EVM chain, we have a DA layer, we have a storage, and also we have like inferencing that is available for you to utilize. And one bonus that we have is that the projects who complete deployments on testnet, if you can come over to our booth and just show us a brief on like your deployment, we can help you migrate it to 0G's mainnet by providing necessary tokens. And even like for testnet, if you need additional faucet support, we can help you with that as well. So we are looking for projects that builds things that are impossible elsewhere with other chains. So that is what we would like to achieve with this hackathon and with you fellow builders. We have built this beautiful builder hub, which acts like a one-stop resource platform for you to build, and acts like build with 0G. And you could have like look at the documentations. We have some tutorials, you have SDKs, and also the necessary toolings that you would require to build with 0G. You just give begin journey, you have the list of all the tools, faucets, scans, like chain scan. We have like a scan for like storage uploading as well. We have a validator dashboard, RPC. If you need RPCs, we have our own RPCs, or you could use our partners as well, like QuickNode, Third Web, or like Anchor. We have SDKs, and we have our starter kits. So with this, you could get quick access by just just fetching it into your CLI, and you will be able to start building immediately. So we have like the template ready for you guys. And we have the code links for the documentations, and we have like a brief tutorials and office hours with our partners as well. And this is going to be like one of your most favorite places, or it's like the most favorite one of mine as well, because we have the list of all the projects or like community build projects. It's like a big collection that we have, and we have it in a repository format, which is called like an awesome 0G repository. And this acts like a template and base for you to see what projects have built in the past, how they have utilized 0G. This can solve like 50 to 90% of all your doubts that that are available on 0G's inferencing network. So this is like a link to all the 0G resources. This is like a link tree for 0G. And if you want to connect with me, you could scan the other QR as well. And if you have any doubts for the next 3 days, myself, we have Uday Kumar, we have Yon, we are like DevRels at 0G, and our team will be here to support you throughout this journey. If you have any questions, please head over to our booth, and we will be there at your disposal. Thank you so much. Have a good day hacking, and it's been great so far, and looking forward to see what you guys build over here. Thank you. Oh yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Yes. Awesome. So if you have any questions, please do like visit us at the booth and we'll be there to help you with that. Thank you so much.